too lazy to go and get the light. Doesn't matter. It's just going to be quick. I'm going back to bed. I was just up with Omar. So that is just so sad to me that those parents, they had the wherewithal, people. They had the wherewithal to alert the school district to say, look, our children have to cross this busy road. They say that I think the speed limit, it's not some side road or something. It's a main road. They showed it on the news. I think it's in Indiana. But they had the wherewithal. They were being proactive. They had the wherewithal to say, look, this is really dangerous that our children have to cross this busy road to get over to the bus on the other side. And now their 3 children were all killed by a 24-year-old driving a pickup truck, 24-year-old female who was distracted because she had 3 kids in the back of the back seat, and they were probably, like I said, acting up or whatever, and she wasn't paying attention. This family now lost their 3 kids, 2 twins and a girl, 2 male twins, I think, and a girl a little older, dead, smushed, run over, because the school district didn't listen to the parents saying how dangerous it was for their children to have to be. Probably didn't listen. It's always about money. It's always about just negating concerns, and, you know, in an ideal world, people would pay attention to flashing bus lights. It's not like the kids cross ahead of time. You understand? It's not like they cross ahead of time. They don't cross until the bus is there with the flashing lights to stop traffic in both directions. It's not like there's a crosswalk. Unbelievable. Now these grieving parents have lost all their children. I don't know if it's all their children. Probably. It doesn't matter. They lost 3 of their children. Probably was all their children. And they're left thinking, oh my God, we warned you. And now, it said on the news, now, it always takes a tragedy though. It always takes a tragedy. Just like the duck boat tragedy is going to make future duck boat trips, the captain be more aware and not go out if there's even a hint of potentially deadly bad, anything. But it always takes a friggin' tragedy. These parents had to lose their children, 3 children, 3 young children. And now the bus is going to stop around on side road instead of they're not going to do it anymore, but it's too late, And who knows how many children were crossing at different stops along that road. But then they gave statistics. This was on World News Tonight or Inside Edition, one or the other or both. Then they gave statistics on just how many people illegally go when they were crossing bus lights. It's a very bad problem in our country. Alright? People who just run, they don't pay attention. And now it took this deadly accident. But that young woman, there's no excuse. And just as an aside, I haven't driven a car in a very, very long time, an obscenely long time. And there were a lot of reasons for that. My car that I had when I graduated from college, my mom and her new husband got me an old car, And then it died. It lasted like a year, and it died. And shortly after that, I wound up meeting Joe. I was with him for 6 years. He had a car, so it's not like I needed to have a car. And then after not driving for so long, I just didn't want to drive. It's a jungle out there. I almost get, I learned how bad it is just from following all the laws and all the and cars don't. They act like pedestrians don't exist, but I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I just want to point something out. I might not drive, but I watch TV. I watch movies. I watch TV, and it astounds me. I just saw it the other night on Young Sheldon. It astounds me how, and I'm sitting there thinking it's only a show on TV, But I have a feeling if it's on TV, it happens in real life. It astounds me how often somebody driving will talk to someone in the back seat and take their eyes off the road. And I'm assuming that happens in real life too. And I would have never done it when I drove, you understand? To me, if you're turning around to talk to somebody in the back while you're driving, something bad can happen in that split second that you're doing that, and that's it, you're in an accident. I don't think that's very smart of people to, but I see it all the time on TV, shows, movies, or whatever, where they'll be turning around and talking to somebody in the back seat, and in that time, you don't have your eyes on the road. How do you know there's not going to be a child in front of you? That anything can happen like that. I don't think it's a good idea to take your eyes off the road. If you're talking to somebody next to you in the front seat, that's a little bit different, okay? You are still somewhat having your eyes on the road, but if you're turning around to the back, I bet that causes accidents sometimes, maybe even deadly ones once in a while. I watch it on TV and I cringe. I'm like, keep your eyes on the friggin' road. And then you'll see shows where they're turning around talking to someone in the back, and then somebody in the front will say, or Dad, Mom, watch out, you're gonna crash, you know? It's like, anyway, I just wanted to point that out. These parents lost their 3 young kids, killed. And that woman, I'm sure she's sorry, and I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but she needs to go to jail. She wasn't paying attention. She caused the death. It's negligent. She caused the death of these 3 young kids. She needs to go to jail. I don't know how long somebody goes to jail for that when there's no substance abuse involved or whatever. She didn't pay attention. I don't know how long you go to jail for that, but she does need to go to jail. I'm sure she will. I would, I told you, I feel like that Brody, that woman, that Emmeline, whatever, her mom who didn't have her eye, and I'm not the only one who feels that way, so don't start getting down on me. You can go online, there's lots of people who feel that way. They do comments under videos or comments under articles, okay? She should have been at least partially held responsible, because she was at a party and didn't have her eyes on her daughter, and her daughter had to, the pool wasn't right there. I read about it. She had to crawl, and she had to walk or crawl, whatever. She had to get all the way to the back of the house. They were in the front of the house, outside talking or whatever. She had to get to the back of the house. But apparently, I feel like they should have been held responsible. The little girl trusts her caregivers to keep her safe. Little kids. So I'm very harsh on that. Even though didn't do it intentionally, you should be punished in some manner. Yet they're not being punished at all. And the homeowner too. I think the girl got through some kind of thing that shouldn't have been there, and that's how she reached the pool in the back. But it took time. That's why I didn't like when the woman was on the Good Morning America, the mom, and saying, I keep counting to 30. It takes 30 seconds for a child to drown. It takes 30 seconds for some children to drown. There are ones that get saved who are in there longer than that. And she was in there, but it makes you think it took longer than that for her. You weren't paying attention. It took longer than that. She didn't just plop in the pool. It's not like she was drowning in the pool already swimming. Because the woman's because remember, she's trying to save her own ass too. But she's bringing that up. I saw that just partial. I didn't watch the interview. I watched on Inside Edition when they were talking about having the interview. They gave snippets. I just keep counting to 30 in my head. It takes 30 seconds for a child of her size to... Yeah, but I'm also hearing of children that get saved. That makes you think, but Joe calls that, whatever that word is, that makes you think that she was only in there for 30 seconds. It took time for her to actually get to the pool. And just because it takes 30 seconds for a child to drown doesn't mean that Emmeline wasn't in that pool a hell of a lot longer, Mom. Mom, okay? I think they should have been held responsible. Again, it's not intentional, but so I don't understand that either. To me, that's negligent homicide too. And again, I'm hardly alone in my sentiments before you're going to jump down my throat or something. And I have a right to my opinion, just as other people have a right to say they're grieving and it's not their fault and they did it, whatever, whatever. This woman, she's pointing out, you know, she had 3 kids in the back. I.e., I was distracted, is what she's saying. That's why she points out that she had 3 kids in the back. She was distracted. But you can't be, you have to pay attention to bus lights. You know? It's like, you have to pay attention to a lot of shit when you're in a car. You could potentially injure, maim, or kill somebody when you don't pay attention. It's just sad. It's sad because, again, the school district, the parents had brought it up, how unsafe it was, and they were ignored, and now their kids are dead. Should I put that as the title? The parents brought up how unsafe it was for their children. The school district ignored them, and now the kids are dead. Yeah, I'm not the only one who feels this way. I feel like the Brody, the mom, is just not accepting any responsibility for the part she played in her daughter's death, okay? Especially when she brings up, it takes 30 seconds for a child of that size to drown. Yeah, that doesn't mean your daughter was in that pool only 30 seconds. You had your eyes off of your little girl, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's your fault. Whatever. And again, I've also been seeing other things on TV where they save the kid, and the kid is definitely under for longer than 30 seconds. They do chest compression. They do they've you know, a scene where they've saved their child, who they thought was dead, who had turned blue, or whatever, but they saved them. So who knows? But she says, oh, I keep counting to... Oh, but I did get an answer to the other thing, because someone brought it up. I didn't. I wouldn't know anything. Someone brought up that they did a GoFundMe, and it wasn't them that did it. It was their housekeeper, because they're millionaires, the Brodies. They're like, and the GoFundMe, people are like, why are they having a GoFundMe? They're profiting off their girl's death, and what kind of funeral cost for a toddler or whatever? They shouldn't have had a GoFundMe, but I heard that they're using the GoFundMe the money, hopefully, to promote pool safety for children and whatnot. Because they don't need the fucking money, and I wasn't the only one saying, like, what the hell? Why are they having a GoFundMe? GoFundMe are not for rich people to do, you know? But they didn't do it. I guess their housekeeper did, and I still don't think it was, you know, proper, but to set up a GoFundMe in that situation. because I also agree with other people that I feel like that mom is partially responsible and not accepting any responsibility whatsoever, and trying to make it seem like her daughter was only out of her sight for seconds, and it's not true. It took time for the girl to get to the pool, and we don't know. No one's going to tell us how long she was actually under. They should tell us. It's just like the kids accidentally left in the car to burn up alive and die, and all. You know, I feel like that's all. It's not intentional, but it's negligence, and the people responsible should be held responsible, and it shouldn't just all be chalked up as accidents, you know, because kids can't protect themselves. And yet I think more often than not they're not held responsible. It's viewed as an accident. Whatever. Then you can say, well, they're suffering enough because they lost their kid, and I agree. But I don't know for how long, but this 24-year-old killed 3 little kids. She didn't pay attention. 3 from the same family. How awful. She didn't pay attention to the flashing bus lights. It won't bring back their kids, but maybe these parents can at least sue. I don't know. Probably not. They probably can't sue because, sue the school. They told the school district this is dangerous for our children, but it's not the school district's fault that people don't pay attention to flashing bus lights. I'm sure all across the country there are potentially dangerous bus stops for children, and they have to get to the bus stop, and drivers have to be more alert and aware. How awful. I'm sure she's sorry. They make a point to they're pointing out she's 24, it's pretty, and she's had 3 kids in the back. Whether or not they were her kids really doesn't matter. But I don't know what's going to happen to her. She deserves to go to jail. How long you go to jail for when you didn't do it on purpose and you weren't drunk or on drugs or anything. I don't think she was that. I think she just was frazzled, distracted, It's awful. It's awful, 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 Anyway, I'm going back to bed. Good night.